we are going to go on Need for Speed. Of course you're new to it, which means before I can do actual content on this game, I am going to have to show off my cars, obviously. And that is what I shall do this video. And I shall show my part inbox income that I can get every time I log in. And it's not daily, I can just do it whenever, again and again and again. But I'll show you that afterwards. As you can see, I've got a lot of progress. I completed the game as well. I haven't done my prestige though, because prestige is pretty much impossible. In my opinion anyway. Yeah. And as you can tell, I'm not in full form. I'm doing it in the morning. I've pretty much always just woken up, so yeah. But what I'm thinking is, when I've shown you all the cars, of course I'll show you my money stuff as well. The next video I might do it where I'm testing it on my cars, so you know what they can do. Might do an event in some of them. Probably be about an hour long maybe, because I might spend a lot of time on certain cars, it depends. In each car, so you could have it to turn into a drift car or a grip car. And of course, I am a style master, so I have most of the cars drift. The ones that I grip is the ones that I am not allowed to thingy. So as you can see, we've got the Mazda RX-8 from Need for Speed Pro Street, which I actually did only yesterday actually. Probably not a very good version, it was a lot of detail, but I tried, and this is what I made of it. So over here, we've got the original version of Eddie Skyline from Underground. As you can see, all the original gear. Of course, I didn't know the letters on there, but just in case if anyone can see it, I made it so they could see Need for Speed Underground, so they know exactly which Need for Speed this was from. And I do have the version from this game as well, which you'll see probably last, because it's in my storage type area in this game, so yeah, you'll see that soon though. And over here we have this car I got from Deluxe, but the only thing is it wasn't the original Razor, it was like the game's version of it now. But basically this one is Raz's car from the first Need for Speed Most Wanted, and I made it as original as I could, and yeah, pretty much nothing different to the original one. I even put the I've not even shown you license plates either. Like each car I've had a license plate for. The Mazda had Pro. I couldn't fit Pro Street on it, so I just did a few letters to like represent Pro Street, and I just put M4 Razor here, which on the newer Need for Speed Most Wanted, when you face him, you will see that. If you're a real OG, of course. Yeah, that one just says Underground in a way, because back in Need for Speed Underground, it would just say Underground on your plate. This one I did not so long ago. This one, as you can see, is another East Siders vehicle, but this one is one of Eddie's gang members' cars that I created. I don't think you'd see this car around anymore, but somehow the game lets you buy it, and I did it as much as I could to look like the one from Underground. And I know if you are an OG, you'll know that this car on the east side of like sides here, it wouldn't be the dragon because that's Eddie's animal of east siders, but I couldn't do a bear, or it was like a lion type thing, bear, grizzle, whatever. Basically, it was like that, and I couldn't do it. It was way too much. It looked too wrong as well. It was just didn't look right, and also it's pretty much got the same plate because it's from underground. And over here we have a car from Need for Speed Undercover, my federal cop car, which is, if I'm to be honest, I would say out of all the Need for Speeds I've played, this car was the most hardest cop car to face in all of my Need for Speeds, because they're fast, like really fast, like, because they originally in the game they would have a Porsche GT2 instead of the Carrera, but I can't buy GT2s. But they have GT2s, they go fast as possible, could keep up with your supercars, and also if you went for the roadblocks, you'd have to be careful because they would have spike strips and stuff all over the road, and you can't reflate your tyres, and if you hit a spike strip, you're pretty much staying on about 20 miles per hour. You was pretty much screwed, unless of course there was like a well, you know, like if there was one of those destroy things or whatever. Oh no, don't want to move it. Alright. So, now you shall see the one from this game of Eddie's Skyline. So this one, of course, as I said, is the one from this game. Basically though, you have to do a lot to earn it, because basically what you do is you have to, because on this game you're in the city where Underground took place, which was yeah, whenever. It was a long time ago. Like, the last time I played Underground was when I was a little kid. Like, I beat Eddie once in Underground, and I had his car. And now he's changed his car, if you not already noticed. It looks way different compared to the original one that I have, that I created. And yeah, sure has changed. And I will compare the stats to this car compared to the original one in a minute, because the original one could go to about 200 miles per hour and would have the best acceleration stats possible. But this one can only go to 195, and the horsepower's lacked a bit on it, and acceleration has changed by it a little bit. It has been thingied, and as you can tell, it's not my car, because the ones that they give you for doing things or whatever, or completing story or something, it'll tell you you've got Ghost as a license plate to prove it's not yours. Seeing as Ghost Games helped them create this game, I think, or whatever. So yeah, just gonna shove it back in storage for a sec. The last car I've got in storage, that I think, is it the last car? Yeah, it's the last one. Is my Diabolo. Now I'm guessing you might be wondering, why have you only got one supercar? Well, as you can see, this one is not mine. The reason why I've kept this one is because it can light up. It's the only car in the game that lights up. It's like a neon Lambo. It's sick. By the way, the cars that aren't mine are kinda mostly grip cars, because of reasons, I think. I don't know. There is one though that I can get for free that I've done events for, that I could have for a drift car, but I'm not into the car though. I can show you them in a minute, and I'll show you what you can buy on this game. Anyway, so as I was saying, supercars on this game aren't as good as these cars that you're seeing over there, because for some reason they can't go as fast, but basically they can have super horsepower instead of top speed. But the other thing is, the horsepower doesn't matter as much, it is the speed more. So yeah, it does take these cars longer to go higher speeds than my Lambo that I've got here, or I used to have an Advantador, which is how I proved it, and yeah. So yeah, so I guess now I might as well show you the money stuff first. So every time I log in, and it's not just daily, it's just if I wanted to log in 10 times, I'd receive these 10 times. So all these ones that have spanners on them are from my deluxe. They're not all worth that much, because I sell them all. But this one, I'm not sure if it's glitched or what, but I can receive 10,000 pretty much every time I log in. And I know most people would probably have like floods of money, but the other thing is, I only got my Pro Street car yesterday, and I only did it up yesterday. And I'm going to be working on making some new cars as well. I'm starting to debate if I should make the PPR vehicle from Need for Speed Undercover, because probably would be hard work, but I mean, don't think it'll be that bad. I'm just gonna move my Eddie Skyline back in and like shove. Actually no, I'll just view, right. So as you can see, the ones that have $0 on them are from, so it's only these three. I can get these whenever I want, so if I sell them, they come back here and I can buy it again. But these are not from Deluxe, these are from Thingy. So basically, if I complete all the circuit races and sprint races in the game, I earn that car off Magnus, which is the best. Right, this game's complicated. It basically goes in speed, style, outlaw, build, and crew. I forgot them all. That was, yeah, that was 5, right? So basically, if you do all the speed stuff, like all the speed races and events in the story, you get that. This is for the style, isn't it? Kenbok, yeah, style. He's a style one because he's that's the drift car I was on about. It's a Ford Mustang. It's really trash, in my opinion. So yeah, basically that means just do all the drift trials and drift trains. Basically you have to do all the crew stuff and the style stuff to get that. This one is to basically do all of the build events, like to turn your car up, and also unlock all the best mods and actually have all the best mods on at least one car, and you get that. And then you go to the car that you can buy. So as you can see, the cheapest one's that. It's a bit pants. I've never actually bought any of these cars because I never wanted to try them out. That one was off Underground though. Like some of them are actually from older Need for Speeds. Like them two aren't though. That I'm aware of. And that one's just what it is. And then we got gang car from Underground. It is quite cheap, but trust me, if you mod it up with the best mods like I have for all my cars, it would be amazing, trust me. Which you'll see in the video I'll make, maybe in when I want to. So, a Honda Civic, a bit ordinary, Ford Mustang. Toyota Supras, yeah, they're not bad. I mean, actually I could toggle the specs as well, like, if you ever want to pause the video at this point, like, to see any of the stats, then by all means. But these are the stats that they have for stock, when you bought them. So yeah, Nissan 240SX, which is actually the starter vehicle on Need for Speed Undercover. Pretty cool. As you notice, I've also got a discount. That's because of my deluxe. I get discount on all the cars in the game. Oh, and modifications as well. So yeah, this is the Fair Lady's Head. Pretty pants, to be honest, for its price. Same with this, like hot rod, bit ordinary. Like, I've actually never seen anyone in this game actually buy one of these. And to be honest, I bet you if I tried drifting with that, I'd probably crash and burn. Basically that's the starter car from this game, that you can buy if you want it back, but I sold it. because of course I didn't want it, seeing as I got Raz's car straight away, and of course I had to do the Raz's stuff first. Yeah, and this is the Pro Street popular car, if you've not already noticed. Mazada, as always. Dodge Challenger, pretty much basic, pretty much in every Need for Speed I've played near enough. And then they were a bit stupid about this one. So as you can see, there's the skiing version of that. Then they've made the Toyota version, and then the Subaru version, all for the same price. And they have the exact same stats as I'm aware of. Yep, all the exact same stats. Bit stupid, to be honest. MX-5, that's in Need for Speed Hot Pursuit if I remember correctly. I swear it was. Sylvia, that's the end on the cover. I used to actually own one of them, but I didn't really want it anymore. So, yeah. Oh, the old Nissan Skyline. Doesn't look as good, but yeah. Pretty. I bet you if I bought it, it would probably have good customization parts though. Honda S200 Underground Classic. Yeah. And this is the limit where we are not allowed to buy them because we don't have enough money. Even though I could buy them whenever, I could literally get an advanced door by logging off and on like probably like 10 times or something. So yeah, Lancer, that one's I'd recommend if you're going basic, I'd go for that. And this is a newer version of the Skyline from 1993. That one's before the one that's popular. I used to have one of them, no, not that bad. M3, of course, that's what I own. Subaru, yeah, I'd recommend that. I know it does. I know one of the tips said that off-road doesn't like stop you or anything, but if your car's a drift car, sometimes depending on what car you're actually driving, it can make you slide a bit too much. So if you're a drifty off-roader, I'd go for a Subaru. Like, would help. M3 Coupe, yeah, pretty much drift car I'd say, and that's like an older version of it, drift car. Sporty supercar, nothing much to say really. I'd recommend using that for grip though. That's why I'm just giving you all advice on all these cars. I don't actually know about this one, to be honest, because I've never actually owned one and I've never really done anything to do with it, but yeah. This is pretty much like a roadster, so yeah, I'd recommend that for off-road. It's like a supercar for off-road. And then of course we've got the Skyline of today, yay! 1999, and it's still popular. Ford Mustang Boss, I used to have one of them. Tried being a lowrider once, it didn't work out. BMW M2, pretty much basic. A bit like the M1 from Most Wanted. That one was from the Velocity pack actually from Most Wanted, when you get to rule the airport. And I would love to actually get content on some of these older games that I'm mentioning, but like, for example, Underground, I can't have access to that anymore because I don't have a PS2. And also I probably won't be able to get any content that's good on it anyway, to be honest. Seeing as I'll have the right equipment for that, seeing as PS2 doesn't have the right equipment for video either. On the PS3 though, I could try maybe and do some videos on Most Wanted, seeing as I keep mentioning that a lot, and I do have that. I've also got Undercover still, and I do have Pro Street, but I'll have to download that if I want to do that, but Pro Street's kind of trash. M4, not really sure to be honest, never tried it out, so. But on I have had an M6 on Need for Speed Rivals, which I have on my Xbox. Yeah, that one's, I'd recommend grip probably. Ford Mustang, bit of both really, depends Depends how you like the Mustang to be like, really. Porsche, I've got mine as a drift, it's not that bad, it's pretty good. Likes to slide, you know. My federal Porsche. But yeah, that was the Carrera I bought to thingy it. Camaro, pretty much a stylish version of it really. Z06, pretty much the Interceptor from Most Wanted. Used to have one, but I can't remember. I think I turned it to be a drift one, but I don't think it really suited it. I'm not really sure. Nissan GTR, it really isn't premium. It's just normal. It's a normal Nissan GTR. Been on plenty of Need for Speeds I've played, so I can't recommend any to you. And yeah, pretty good stats as well, to be honest. It's a stock one. A Mercedes, yeah, never tried it, but I'd probably say it would be alright for drifting. This is the real Nissan GTR Premium. Used to have one of these actually. This was my first sports car that I bought. Quite expensive, I know, but of course, because it was too expensive, I sold it anyway, because I couldn't afford modification for it, so I got something more basic and then put good customization and shit on it. And yeah, I don't want to buy it back, because to be honest, it wasn't even that good though, in my opinion, so yeah. Dodge Viper, it says it in the name, it's a Viper. Viper of the road, and that's the car that I was on. That Magnus one, that's basically that, I think, but of course he changed his. The Cayman, I used to have one of them. Also, that's the starter car for races on these two rivals. I'd recommend the drifty one for that. It was pretty good at drifting. That's pretty much just a Carrera really, just it's sportier. And yeah, and it's probably more better at drifting, I'd probably recommend, seeing as it looks more drifty. I'm just saying. Oh, I used to have this one. Basically I turned this car into a Deadpool car. It was really funny, to be honest. You would have loved how it looked. I don't have it anymore though, I'm afraid, because of course I got rid of most of my supercars. Normal Diablo, bit of a rip-off to be honest, because when you actually buy it, you don't even get that much customization. Albergo, pretty much normal, pretty much in every single Need for Speed I've played actually, to be honest, in some form. Huracan, yeah, normal. To be honest though, the speed on it is pretty much lacked, and the horsepower of it as well. It's not as good as you'd think. This one is a rip-off for what you can get for it. I wouldn't recommend buying it because you can't get that much customization, so if you want it to look a bit basic like it looks in that picture, I'd buy it, but if you want it sporty, don't get it. Advantador, as I said, I had one of them. That's actually near enough one of the most expensive as well. It was good, but it just lacked in speed. It used to go to, I think, 222, and most of these cars that I've got in my garage goes to like 234. And yeah, that's the second most expensive, I think, because the last one is the rip-off Master Build, which is probably going to be a speed demon if I bought it. So you never know, one day I might buy it. To be honest, I'd probably get a trophy for buying it, but yeah. I'll see if there's a trophy for it, because if there is, I might actually do a video of me doing it up and stuff. You know, because why not? So, I think I've pretty much done everything that I'd said I would have done, I think. Yeah. So, there you have it. That's Need for Speed car video. Yeah. So, if you liked it, drop a like, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.